Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, may Almighty Allah bless you with health, wealth, peace, and prosperity. Students, the previous lesson of chapter number 5 was related to two chemical techniques used in the chemistry laboratory in order to separate the components of a mixture. When we want to separate the insoluble impurities from the mixture, then we use the filtration technique. A strainer may use for that, or a filter paper may use for the isolation or separation of insoluble impurities. Then we discussed the daily life application or general uses of filtration in daily life, and then sublimation, that was a specific technique to separate the solid particles from the solids. What happened in sublimation? You remember, we heat up the solid substance in a china dish, and then we get the vapors of the solid substance directly converted into vapor state or gaseous state without converting into liquid state. So it was a specific method to separate the components from the mixture. We have watched an activity performing sublimation process. Last time we watched a video for that. In practical situations, sometimes it happens that many liquids have been mixed and there becomes a mixture of liquids. So when we want a specific liquid from the mixture of liquid, then we use the distillation technique in the laboratory as well as in the industries. What the distillation is, let us understand the definition of distillation. Distillation is a method by which two or more liquids in a solution are separated by boiling of the liquid with the lower boiling point and condensing it in an other container. So this definition is difficult to some extent, but in order to understand the complete process of distillation or the definition, we shall demonstrate the process of distillation by an activity as well. But before watching that activity, let us describe some important uses of distillation in the daily life. Use in the medical science. What is the use of distillation in the medical science? Students, the doctors use distilled water for injections. Normally, in the injections or in the drips, etc., the distilled water is used and that is filled up, and a mixture is used, in the drips and in the injections. So there is a distilled water used in the injections by the doctors. And then distilled water, is not fit for drinking actually, but in order to purify the seawater, the process of distillation is even used in Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. Seawater is passed through the process of distillation to get drinking water. As obvious from the diagram, that is a distillation plant for water. And then the third use of distillation is given as the use of distillation process in oil refinery, and that is the fractional distillation process, in which the different components of the crude oil are achieved at different boiling points. For example, we have kerosene, we have coal tar, we have gasoline, we have different organic compounds, aromatic compounds in the crude oil, and crude oil is a complex mixture of different organic compounds, and these compounds are separated, these components of the crude oil will be separated in the oil refineries by the process of fractional distillation. So there are three uses we discussed recently. Use in the medical science. The distillation process is used in the medical science, that the doctors use distilled water for injections. Drinking purposes, for drinking purposes, because water, the sea water is not fit for drinking. So in such countries like Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, maybe India, they apply the process of distillation to get pure drinking water. And then in the oil refineries, they use the process of fractional distillation to separate various components of the crude oil.
Let us
The
perform an
separation
activity
of
to understand
liquids
simple
from a mixture
distillation.
of liquids can be demonstrated by an activity.
Take a mixture
Let
of
us
acetone
watch
and
an
water in a
activity.
distillation flask. Put a thermometer in it. Connect the flask to a water condenser. The condenser has cold water running through its jacket to keep the temperature cool. Keep a beaker at the outlet of the condenser. Heat the mixture, keeping an eye on the thermometer. When the temperature hits 56 degrees Celsius, acetone starts to vaporize. These vapors condense in the water condenser. The condensed acetone gets collected in the beaker. When all the acetone vaporizes, water is left in the flask. Acetone is collected in the beaker. In this way, acetone and water get separated by simple distillation.
The separation of colored chemicals from the mixture is another technique used in the laboratory. This specific technique in the chemistry laboratory is called chromatography or paper chromatography. Let us define the term chromatography. It is the separation of colored chemicals. It works because some components of a mixture are more soluble than the others. Students, those components of mixture which are more soluble than the other components will move faster and will cover more distance in the chromatography process. We will demonstrate it in an activity as well, that those colors will travel faster and will cover more distances which are more soluble in the mixture. Now secondly, we shall describe some uses of chromatography in industries and in daily lives and in maybe in the laboratory. Students, dyes and inks are used to make the color of food. We know some inks or dyes are used as the food colors, may be used in cloths or may be used in pens. So we can use the method of chromatography to find if the color in the ink of the pen is a pure dye or is a mixture of dyes. So we have to investigate that whether the dye is a pure dye or it is a mixture of dyes. We may use chromatography paper or we may use a simple filter paper for this purpose. What is the principle of chromatography? Chromatography works only for the soluble dyes. We know the dyes which are soluble than the others will travel more distance and will travel faster. So like in food and pen, not the dyes in the clothes. So chromatography is only applicable for the soluble dyes because the soluble dyes travel faster and travel more distances in the filter paper or in the chromatography paper. So the cloth dyes are not suitable for chromatography process. So it is the principle of chromatography that it works only for the soluble dyes. The most soluble dyes move faster on the filter paper than the less soluble dyes. So it is evident from the experiment, that is through an activity. Using chromatography paper, a filter paper or a paper towel, let us perform the activity of chromatography in our own time at our home. Now let us demonstrate the activity.
Hi kids, today we're going to do an experiment with chromatography. Remember, always have your parents with you while doing an experiment. Here's what you'll need: some water, a coffee filter, some popsicle sticks, some markers, some food coloring or other ink, a pair of scissors, and some clear glasses. First, cut your coffee filter into strips like these. Next, tape the end of your coffee filter onto a popsicle stick. Since chromatography is the separation of mixtures, today we're going to see the separation of colors. Make a line on your coffee filter a little ways up from the bottom. Hang your coffee filter over your glass or small dish. We only need the bottom of the filters touching the water, so we have to measure how much water we need to put in. It's better to have not enough water than more water because we can always add more. Now add water up to your line. Now put your filters in your water and watch the colors separate.
So students, after the topic of chromatography, that was the last topic of chapter number 5, let us attempt the objective type questions given in your exercise one by one. The question number 1, write proper word or the term against each statement. You have to write the correct answer in the blank. Let us decide the correct answers one by one. In part number 1, building blocks of matter. When you talk about the building blocks of the matter, so I think so these are the tiny fundamental particles of the matter, and the correct answer must be atoms. Atoms must be the correct answer in part number 1. In part number 2, the matter consisting of only one kind of atoms. Such a sample of the matter is called an element. So the element is the correct answer in part number 2. In part number 3, a solid changes into vapors without becoming a liquid. You remember this process? Solid directly converted into the gaseous or vapor state without becoming a liquid. This process is called a sublimation process. So the word sublimation would come in the blank. And in part number 4, the process of separating components of the mixture having different boiling points. We covered this topic in this lecture as well. You remember it was the distillation process, separating different components having different boiling points. So this is called distillation. In part number 5, the separation of colored chemicals. You know, this is the last topic of chapter number 5, that is about chromatography. So the correct answer must be chromatography. Let us tally the answers given at the end of the slide. So the first answer to part number 1, that was atoms. Yes, we were correct. Atom is the correct answer, the building blocks of the matter. Then the part number 2, the correct answer is element, the matter consisting of only one kind of atoms. This sample is called element. Then part number 3, solid changes into vapors without becoming a liquid. The process is sublimation. Yes, we were correct. And part number 4, process of separating components having different boiling points. So the correct answer is distillation. In part number 4, the correct answer is distillation. In part number 5, the separation of colored chemicals. Obviously the process is called chromatography. So chromatography is the correct answer. In part number 5, you will write the chromatography in the blank. So students, there are some multiple choice questions as well. Those are called MCQs, you know. So in MCQ number 1, they have asked, when elements are joined chemically in a compound, then they, first option, lose their original property. Second, keep their original properties. Or the third one is become a mixture. Or the last option is become another element. So my opinion is that when the elements are joined chemically, then they lose their identity, they lose their original properties. So according to that, answer A is correct. A option is the correct option, lose their original property. Yes, in part number 1, A option was correct option. Then students, the second MCQ given to you, which of the following does not describe elements? Which of the following does not describe elements? So let us talk about these options. Option A, all of the particles are alike. B option is can join together to form compounds, can be broken down into simpler substances. Elements cannot be broken down into simpler substances. And D option have particular properties. So according to my own point of view, this statement is incorrect about elements. C option is incorrect about elements. We know it, the elements cannot be broken down into simpler substances, but they have written the elements can be broken down into simpler substances. So we will select the option C. Option C is the correct answer. Can be broken down into simpler substances. C option is correct. So students, in case of MCQ number 3, which substance is a compound? Now let us concentrate on the 4 options. A option is carbon, B option is chlorine, C option sodium chloride, and D option is sodium. Obviously C option is correct, sodium chloride, because it is a compound and it is an an ionic compound, sodium chloride, made up of two elements, one is sodium and other is chloride, and we know the formula NaCl. This is sodium chloride and it is a well known compound. So C option is correct in part number 3. In part number 4, which process can be used to separate salt from a mixture of salt and water? Filtration? No, salt cannot be separated from water through filtration process. What do you think about sublimation, chromatography, or distillation? So I think so D option, distillation, is a correct option. Student, MCQ number 5, how can you see the colors of chemicals present in the bright colored chocolate beans? The correct answer is C answer, by paper chromatography. Paper chromatography, C option is the correct option. So let us tally the answers. I think so we have given the correct answers. Students, for your assessment, I am assigning you 5 short questions. Let us see that to what extent you have understood the concepts of the sublimation, filtration, distillation, chromatography, element, compound, mixture, atom and molecules. So give the answers on the answer script and send it to me on my email address mentioned over here, or you can send your answers on my WhatsApp number as well. Students, I hope that you have attended my all lessons of chapter number 5 with complete understanding. Inshallah, in the next lecture we are going to start chapter number 6, that is again related to the subject of chemistry, and the title of that chapter is gases.